Hello guys, myself Dr. Narendra Kumar Singh, Associate Professor, School of Pharmacy, Babu Banarsi Das University, Lucknow. Today the topic of our discussion is spectrophlorimetry. Spectrophlorimetry is the method of choice for quantitative determination of those samples which have the property of fluorescence. Spectrophlorimetry have very limited applications of qualitative application, but few information may be derived for structural determination by using the spectra of fluorescence. Now coming on how the fluorescent spectra originated. So we know that when energy is provided to a chromophore, the electron present in the chromophore molecule absorb the energy of UV visible radiation and then promoted to the excited state. The excited state of the molecule is a very short-lived, and energy of molecule is lost by three different ways. The first way is the process of internal collision, in which molecule transfer their energy to each and other and therefore they lost their energy. Second way to lose their energy is the changes in the bonding of the molecule and start of photochemical reaction. And third way how the energy is lost by the molecule is the emission of radiation by the excited state molecule, and due to the emission of radiation they come back to their ground state energy level. So the process of the loss of energy in the form of radiation is a very short span, and its range is 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 to the power minus 9 second. This process is called the fluorescent process, and the energy difference between the excited energy level and the ground state energy level for the process of fluorescence is represented as delta EF. So the molecule that absorb the energy and therefore promoted from their ground energy level to the excited energy level, and this energy is equal to delta EA that is required for the absorption of a small portion of the energy of the molecule is in the excited state is lost by the internal collision, and therefore its energy decreases from this level to this level, and therefore always delta E A will be greater to delta E F, means the radiation emitted by the molecule from their excited state is always less as compared to the energy required for absorption by the chromophore. Actually, the pi electron present in the molecule, there are two electrons is required for the formation of a pi bond. Electron present here have positive spin, but if electron in the excited state have negative spin, and therefore they are anti-parallel to each other. Means the pi electron present in the bonding molecular orbital have the positive spin, and the electron present in the excited state have negative spin, and this situation is anti-parallel situation, and this excited state known as singlet excited state. So fluorescence is a process of the loss of energy in the form of radiation from singlet excited state to the singlet ground state. In some cases, especially at low temperature, some internal intersystem crossover will be there, where the spin of molecule changed from their negative spin to their positive spin, And in this process, the electron present in the ground state and the electron present in the excited state both have a same spin, both have positive or both have negative spin, and this state is known as the triplet excited state. And the molecule in the triplet excited state lose their energy in the form of radiation, and it will return to their ground state. So this process is a very slow process. It starts after 10 to the minus 8 seconds, and it is observed for even minutes or hours. And the radiation that is emitted from triplet excited state to the singlet ground state, this process is known as phosphorescence. So energy of phosphorescence is represented as delta EPH, and delta EPH is less than delta EF, and which is less than the delta EA. So we can say that the energy of absorption is much as compared to the energy of fluorescence, which is much as compared to the energy of phosphorescence. So if a molecule absorbs the energy and it promoted from the ground state to excited state, a small portion of the energy is lost by the internal collision due to the vibration in the molecule, and the rest of energy is liberated in the form of fluorescence. In certain cases, the excited molecule passes through intersystem crossover, in which the spin of the electron in the molecule changes from their positive spin to negative or negative spin to positive spin, and we can say that molecule process from singlet excited state to the triplet excited state. And when this electron from the triplet excited state return to their ground electronic state, this process is known as phosphorescence. So this is the basic things about the origin of spectra of fluorimetry. Now coming on instrumentation of fluorescent spectrophotometer. So fluorimeter is the instrument that measure the intensity of fluorescence, and spectrofluorimeters are the instrument that measure the intensity of excitation and intensity of emission at different wavelengths. So the instrumentation of spectrofluorimeter is similar as compared to, as we have seen in case of UV visible spectrophotometer. A difference here is that in spectrofluorimeter, two monochromators are used, one for excitation and another for emission. So the energy is in the form of radiation emitted by the source that pass through the monochromator 1, which isolate the desired wavelength of light that passed through the sample cell which contains the sample. So molecule present in the sample absorb the radiation that passes through the sample, and rest of the intensity emitted which pass through the through monochromator 2, which isolate the desired wavelength of light which passes through the detector. Generally photomultiplier tube is used in spectrofluorimeter, and the signal sent to the recorder, which record a spectra. So the basic source that is used in UV visible spectroscopy cannot be used in spectrofluorimeter, like tungsten lamp, deuterium lamp, hydrogen lamp, because the intensity emitted by these source are very low, and therefore the best lamp that is used in spectrofluorimeter is a xenon discharge lamp, and mercury vapor lamp. A high high pressure xenon discharge lamp is used as a source, but one major disadvantage of xenon discharge lamp is that the oxygen present in the lamp may converted at high temperature in ozone, which is a toxic material. So the ozone that is generated in the lamp may be absorbed by using charcoal in the lamp. The intensity emitted by mercury vapor lamp is high as compared to xenon discharge lamp, and where the intensity of the signal that is emitted by the substance is very low. In that particular case, mercury vapor lamp is used because the intensity emitted by the xenon discharge lamp is less as compared to the mercury vapor lamp. So if the substance has sufficient fluorescent intensity, then xenon discharge lamp is the lamp of choice. But in case where the intensity emitted by the sample is very low, in that case mercury vapor lamp will be used as a source. When our objective is to determine the emission spectra, in that case the monochromator 1 may be used as a simple filter. Simple filter may be used in place of a prism and grating system as generally used in monochromator. But if we have to use the excitation spectra, we must use the grating system or prism in monochromator 1. The detector generally used in spectrophlorimeter is for high sensitivity photomultiplier tube, because the intensity of light that is emitted by most of the sample is very less. So the sensitivity of detector must be high in case of this spectrophlorimeter, and the signal that is generated by the photomultiplier tube is amplified and finally sent to the recorder, which record the spectra. So this is the basic schematic diagram of spectrophlorimeter. There are two major advantages of spectrophlorimetry over the UV visible spectrophotometry. These advantages are: number one, high sensitivity, and second one is selectivity. The sensitivity of spectrophlorimetry is approximately 1000 times more as compared to UV spectrophotometry. In spectrophlorimetry, the detector measures the single wavelength intensity as compared to the zero intensity of light. But in case of UV visible spectrophotometry, detector measure the two intensity of two different beams. One is the intensity of incident radiation, and second one is the intensity of transmitted radiation. And detector generally determine the difference between the intensity of incident radiation and the intensity of transmitted radiation, that is equal to the intensity that is absorbed by the sample, and therefore we can calculate the concentration on the basis of the absorbance, because absorbance of the sample is directly proportional to its concentration. But in case of spectrophlorimetry, we determine the intensity of a particular wavelength of radiation by the detector. In UV visible spectrophotometry, the difference between the intensity of incident radiation and intensity of transmitted radiation, that is in the range of IT is equal to 0.05 to 0.02 to 0.0 5 I naught. So if the difference in the intensity of incident radiation and intensity of transmitted radiation, when if this difference is very minute, it approaches to the noise level and detectors does not respond for the signal. But in case of spectrophlorimetry, the intensity of radiation, a single beam of radiation passes through the detector, which intensity is measured, and therefore its sensitivity is very high. For example, quinine sulfate in their tablet formulation can be estimated. Generally, quinine sulfate tablet containing 300 mg of quinine sulfate, and the amount of quinine sulfate in the tablet can be determined in 0.1 molar HCl solution by using UV visible spectrophotometer accurately. The accuracy of UV visible spectrophotometry is high as compared to the spectrophlorimetry, and when the sample containing much amount of, say, sufficient amount of the sample, it can be determined by the UV visible spectrophotometry. But when quinine sulfate concentration in the formulation is less than 1 mg, or if we have to measure the concentration of quinine sulfate in blood sample or urine sample which have the very less amount of the quinine sulfate, the method of choice for the determination of the quinine sulfate in that cases is spectrophlorimetry, because the sensitivity of spectrophlorimetry is 1000 times more as compared to the UV visible spectrophotometry. So this is the reason why the spectrophlorimetry is the method of choice for the determination of sample in case where the quantity of sample is very less. Now coming on the selectivity. As we have discussed, when energy is provided to the chromophore molecule, it absorbs the energy of radiation of UV visible, and the electron promoted in the molecule from their ground state energy level to the excited state energy level, and the deactivation process occurs, and in 3 different ways the molecule lost their energy. First one, as we have told, is the internal collision, in which the energy transferred by one molecule to another molecule. Second process is the changing in the bond and some photochemical reaction start. And third process is the loss of energy in the form of radiation that is emitted by the sample. So not all the molecules have the property of fluorescent. Fluorescent occur in those molecules which structure is very rigid, that reduce the loss of energy of electron by internal collision. So the selectivity of the substance in spectrophlorimetry is due to the rigidity in their structure. Not all the sample have the capacity to fluoresce. Only few samples have the property of fluorescent. Therefore, if the impurity present in any formulation, it is not necessary that all the impurity present in the sample have the fluorescent property. So if the drug molecule that have the property of fluorescent, but the impurity present in the sample is non-fluorescent, we can accurately determine the concentration of the substance in spectrophlorimetry, because the impurities that are non-fluorescent in nature do not absorb or emit the radiation, and sample emit a very specific radiation that is measured by the detector.